Hey everybody, welcome back to Smoky Hill Bonsai. Today in the backyard, we're going to work on preserving some dead wood on a couple bald cypress trees. Several weeks ago, I was able to buy some Jin Seal at a nursery in Wichita, and I put one application on one of my trees already. I'm really liking the way that bleach looks on the tree. I think it's really done a lot for the tree. We'll see that here in just a few minutes. But the other tree we're gonna go ahead and clean up a little bit and put its first coat on the tree. So the story is, and I'll probably repeat this a couple times, but the story is that I had to carve away the dead trunks on the trees, and so there's a big wound on there. So the tree that we're putting the first application on tonight, I went through there and cleaned those edges up really well, and I actually cut into the tree quite a bit when I was cleaning it, so I put some cut paste all around it. So basically I'm not going to actually do any carving on it tonight, but I am going to kind of sand it down with my Dremel tool to clean that up and get that ready for the Jin Seal. And again, just to say that the main reason for the Jin Seal right now is to preserve that wood. When I get to be more comfortable with carving or understanding how I want to carve the trees, I'll go back and carve it and then keep that process going. To get started here, I want to throw a quick shout out to all the farmers here in Kansas. It's a big time of year. It's wheat harvest season, and all around Sling County here, I've been seeing the combines out in the field. I had the pleasure to run over to Manhattan, Kansas City to a nursery to look at some plants for a project we've got coming up at the zoo. And out there I also noticed all the combines cutting wheat today. So to all the farmers out there who are getting wheat harvest underway, I hope you have a safe harvest, and I hope your crops are good this year. We are working on preserving some dead wood. When I did the bold cypress introduction video earlier, which I'll put the link up to that, I asked the question to everybody about preserving the dead wood here. I knew it needed something, and I wasn't for sure what to use at the time, but since then I found Jin Seal, and that's what I am going to use. So if you remember from that video, or if you want to go back and watch, I dug both of these trees about the same time and potted them up. The very next year I lost the major trunks on both the trees, but both of them happened to have sprouted out, had sprouted branches on the backside of the dead trunk. And then from there I went ahead and grew them out, and then later went back and removed the dead trunk. As a matter of fact, both these trees, I left the trunk and I carved it with my Dremel tool and actually grew it like that for a couple years. I actually burned that trunk off to kind of make it look like a lightning strike. Wanted to see how that looked. I wasn't completely satisfied with it. Trees grew up, started looking a lot better, and I decided to go ahead and remove the entire trunk of the tree. And so I did, and after I had it cut back, I kind of sliced it back to the live part of the tree and then used the Dremel to shave the rest of it off. So let's jump over here real quick and look at some pictures I have of these trees with the trunks on them. You can see where the branch came out the backside and then grew up parallel with the trunk, and then I started to develop that as the new leader of the tree. Threw some wire on there to put a little movement in them. Here's a photograph. I took the tree to the county fair, entered it in the bonsai class. It was the only tree in the class, and it won the most unusual award, which was kind of fun. I know the tree's not show ready and show worthy, but it was fun to do that. There's a picture as the tree continues to develop there. And then here's when I removed the stump and started kind of grinding that off. I used a saw to make the initial cut to get the trunk off, and then a Dremel tool to start carving that away. And then you can see there what it looked like after I had all that cleaned off. And then after that is where I started treating it with the Jin Seal. So what we'll be doing today is working with Jin Seal. So if you remember in one of my previous videos, I asked the question about what to do with this dead wood. Since then I found the Jin Seal. I have one coat of Jin Seal on this one, and this one I'm going to clean up tonight and put a coat on that. So second coat of Jin Seal on here, and then we'll put a coat on this one. Looks like we got a little praying mantis living in the tree today, so we'll be real careful. So I'll go in here and I'll carve this trunk a little bit more later. You can see I have work here. There was a root here that I need to clean up a little bit more. All right, I'm just going to shoot some water on this and blow the sawdust off of it. The instructions on the Jin Seal do say the wood should be damp, so I think that's clean, and that's what I want for now. So that's all I really want to do right now. I've never really carved dead wood on a bonsai before, so what I would like to do is find a branch or something that I could take off of a tree sometime and practice carving on that, just to kind of get a feel for it and understand what I'm doing before I butcher it too bad. But in the time being, I think it is best idea to go ahead and preserve it. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the Jin Seal. But what I'll do right now is set this one to the side, and the one that's the bold cypress that's ready for the second coat, I'll go ahead and do that. I don't think we need very much, so put a little in there. All right, so there's not a lot of instructions on the bottle about using this, so I did go online and look, and it did recommend or say that the wood could be damp, so let's just shoot it a little bit. And then it also cautioned to not get it all over the rest of the wood, so, or the live stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of start up top here and work my way down. And I'm gonna be real careful. I got this little brush that I robbed out of my wife's art supplies. She did approve me of using this, so, but it wasn't the one that she had in mind for me to take. But it works really well, and I'm sure that she'll be glad to know that this brush is getting put to really good use. Be nice and careful. We'll get it right on that. Do that edge real nice. So I'm really interested to know what everybody else uses to carve their trees with. Watching videos online, not everybody's using a Dremel. That's what I have. And then for those who do use a Dremel, I'm also really curious, which bit are you using for the different applications, such as you know, when I first took this trunk off here, I had a lot of wood to kind of grind and to remove in a hurry. And I'm not sure I had the right bit, and it kind of took me longer than I thought it should. Then once I got done with the grinding part, or the really chipping it away, I did move to a smaller bit that helped a lot, because I really wanted to keep this edge clean to where that live tissue can kind of start rolling over that. When I get to the next step of this, I want to make sure that I'm using the right tips or the right bits for the Dremel tool to do the best work. And like I said, I'll figure that out. If you have favorite tips that you like to use for this application, let me know down in the comment section, and maybe I can get a hold of them and try it out. But for this tree, I think we're done here. I'm going to set it off to the side, and then the tree that's going to get its first coat will be next. We'll get this on here. The other thing that when I was looking this up to see how really to use it, the other thing I did not really see was the recommendation for reapplication. Now that other tree that I already finished, I put a coat on it several weeks ago. And I just thought I'd put another application on it since I had it out. I like the look. I like what it did to it. The bleach look it had. And there it is. I got one application of Jin Seal on this tree. I'm gonna let it dry, and then I'll decide if I should put another coat on right away. It looks like it's kind of thin in an area. And then after that, I'll just leave it on the bench and treat it as normal. This tree is getting close to ready for its pruning. I'd like to do a video pruning this tree and that last bald cypress we worked on. So that wraps up this project for tonight. Thanks for watching. The next thing we'll do with these trees is prune them. I hope to start that this weekend. So we've got these two cypress trees to prune. I've got a third one that's ready to go. And then also all the elm trees are ready, and the wisteria stump is ready as well. So I hope to get those videos done. I hope you like this. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And also give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. And maybe leave some comments in the comment section if you use a different product, or the Dremel tool bits you might like to use, or any other suggestions that you might have. I've been cultivating bonsai for a long time, but only in the last couple years have I really started honing the skills with more best practices way of cultivating bonsai. So still a learning process. If you got some suggestions out there, go ahead and leave them in the comment section. Other than that, I'll just sign off for the night, and we will catch you again next time.